Okay. Hello, Gia.
Hello, Keisha. How we
Hi.
doing? We're not.
Oh,
Oh, what?
oh.
Did did you
You do
lose me?
sound. No, you do sound a little raspy.
Oh,
Poor
I'm
Gia.
sorry. Oh, I could sing "Smell Cat" if you like.
You could, yeah, in your sexy voice, yeah.
Yeah,
And I apologize to America and the world that we're late with our podcast. Gia was,
it's my fault.
globetrotting.
I was
Well,
globetrotting and in between locations. We thought we could sneak another one in, but I couldn't do it. Couldn't do
yeah,
it. So
you
so,
were
but we're back to
tired.
our regular abodes, and it's. I have to
Hmm.
say, I prefer this. I don't like looking at you. That's it. Kind of freaked me out. Like,
So I guess when you're not feeling well, you can't sugarcoat anything.
oh, sorry. I didn't mean it like that. I can't focus on my thoughts on General Hospital and just my usual, pearls of wisdom, my
Yeah,
pontifications, like,
yeah,
and
yeah.
be in the same room and be listening to your dog crunch through, 2-month-old sky raisins over in the corner,
Yeah, this little dog, it does like to eat flies, both alive and dead. Um,
which, that can be helpful.
it
That's a
is. I
service
guess it
in
is
your house.
helpful. Yeah. With the open door policy, there's always flies in the house
Yeah. Now that
and
my old man's
other
got there
animals.
with his fly swatter, he was pretty focused. He got rid of quite a few.
You know, I realized I don't really know how to entertain human beings anymore, except for making sure I
Well,
have like
no.
snacks, which is what I do for the dogs.
I
So
mean, the
I,
flies are entertainment. That was entertaining, but
so
distracting
your
when you're
bar
trying to
is set
podcast,
pretty
yeah.
low then,
I
huh?
was just worried that your little dog would have a tummy ache from the old sky
No,
raisins,
I
but
think she's got an
she's
iron gut. Yeah.
that's good. She's a scavenger. That's good.
She is a
That'll serve her well.
scavenger. She's always
Yeah.
looking for food, this little dog.
No, you
Yeah.
were delightfully entertaining. Don't beat
That's a
yourself up.
lie. That's a lie. But
No, it
thank
was
you.
a
I
lot of fun.
appreciate that.
And I'm not gonna get on a scale for, like, 2 weeks.
Oh, me neither. Me neither,
I
Gia.
mean, not that
Yeah.
it was not that you were, turned like, twisted my arm or anything, but my goodness,
Well, I didn't make it
what
easy
a
for
week.
you to be a well-behaved
The
person.
gnocchi was like
Added a syllable to the gnocchi.
I
I
did
think your I think your stuffed up
gnocchi,
head has made it impossible for you to pronounce
gnocchi.
gnocchi.
Well, anyway, if you need to experience it once in your life, and
Yeah, you do.
if
It
you
is
need to
good.
gain weight, I think that would probably do it quick.
Or patch a crack, as
Or
Gia
yeah, like
suggested.
if
Yeah.
you're building a log home and you need to what is that called? Like chink it if you need to
Yeah, yeah. That's what you do with like bricks, right?
yeah, like
I guess you
mortar,
do it with logs
exactly.
too. Sure,
It'd be like
sure.
potato mortar. Yeah.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Solid, pretty solid stuff.
Solid, yeah. Yeah.
It's like
Um,
if you're hungover, that would be the perfect hangover meal too.
gnocchi, yeah.
I
Okay.
think so. I think
Yeah.
so.
I think it's good for all occasions, all
Yeah.
kinds of weather, even though it
Weddings,
seems
bar
like a
mitzvahs,
warm, hot,
hangovers.
cold weather. Yeah. kind of.
Yeah. Depre- if you're depressed,
If
if you're
yes,
happy,
yes, yes.
anything really. Not if
Yep.
you're gonna not if you have to sprint afterwards.
Or do like a bikini shoot for a
No.
magazine, for instance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
Okay.
Anyway,
Yeah.
no, it was a delightful week and we
It
had
was a
lots of fun.
lot of fun to have you up here, Gia, I must say.
It
It
was
was
a
very, very
blast and
nice.
uh yeah, we'll do it again some more, but we'll have to figure out a better way to podcast if we're still up to our hijinks next time.
Yeah, I guess we
Maybe
could
go to
be in
separate
separate
booths or something.
rooms. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure, sure. That would be weird, but why not? It's not like we're not weird generally, so it would just be another
I
kind of
don't
weird.
yeah, I think that's a given.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
anyway, I did catch up on Hospital. I kinda like I watched today in real time. I think I watched the others
Yeah.
on
Uh-huh.
on Hulu or something. So they're a little faint in memory, but
Yeah, okay. All right.
so you'll have to you'll have to remind me of what we need to talk about.
Yeah, I started to go back like a week and took just a few notes for like 3 episodes, and then I had to kind of skip to today's because I realized it was just going to take too long. But there were some things that I thought we should touch on from those earlier days, just
Okay.
to weigh in, okay? Just to weigh
All
in
right.
on
Let's
things.
weigh in. Give me a
Do you
topic.
want? Okay, do you want to go back to?
Sure. Why
Okay,
not?
thanks, Gia. Okay, there's an episode where it's nighttime and we're bouncing from one
Oh, right. The
scene to
bed
another.
scenes. The
Remember?
bed scenes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Well, we had Elizabeth, and Finn at the hospital, and they were sort of having,
Oh,
kind of
right.
an
They were up on the roof in their little
yeah,
special
yeah,
spot. Yeah. Okay.
yeah. And so just starting there, and I know a lot of people don't find them interesting, and I understand why everybody's saying that because they're not very interesting, but I still like them both. But I feel like this conversation they were having, it was sort of awkward, and I maybe they're always awkward, but this seemed like sort of exceptionally awkward. And
You're referring to him asking Elizabeth to be Violet's guardian or whatever it was, or
yeah, and even
that.
like before that, it felt like
Yeah,
they were, I don't know, like they were on a blind date or something,
they always feel like they've just met and are trying to banter, but it's just not floating.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. So I don't know why that's so difficult sometimes for them. But yeah, when he started to go off on the whole like needing her to be the godmother to Violet and all that, it was just it went on too long, and it seemed sort of like trumped up kind of, drama,
yeah, yep. And
right?
I don't know why they're hell bent on serving up Elizabeth and Finn on a platter for us. Like every episode, we get another
Yeah, yeah.
awkward date situation or something. And
Yeah, and we're supposed to believe that they're happier each time they get together, but
right. He was exclaiming to his father that he's just brimming with happiness.
yeah, but I don't know if we're showing
He's
us, they're telling us, right?
right, and that's we know from our creative writing background that that's not what you want. You want to show it, not
You
tell
want to
it.
show it, not tell it. Okay. So
Yeah.
yeah. But anyway, so that's what I had to say about those two.
Yeah,
Any
I kind of initially I was kind of like, okay, I'm so into ER right now. I was like, okay, hospital scene stuff. So I'm any kind of like
I
little
know.
hospital scene. I'm like, all right,
I was I know.
I'm
Yeah,
down with
me
that,
too.
But
Yeah.
they're trying to give them some kind of magic sparkle that they just don't have, and it's like,
Mhm.
you know, go ahead and call it and move on.
Call it. Time of death.
Yeah.
You don't
Too
want to
much
hit him with the
ER, I
paddles
know.
one more time?
One more time. How long have you been down? How long has this couple been down?
Yeah. Well, I also think, yeah, like the hospital setting, I think like he rushed off to some sort of operation, right? And then it turned out that patient died, I guess, right? That was all that
right, and that was
little
all just so
sequence.
we could see him having this mood, I guess, because
Yeah.
I thought we'd get to see the patient or have that
Hmm.
develop into something further, but that was just to establish a moodiness, I guess.
Yeah, and again, it seemed like it was sort of telling us instead of showing
Right,
us, like,
right.
because we haven't had that sort of reaction from him before, and obviously he's had, highs and lows in the hospital before, so it seemed like kind of a new thing,
Yeah, yeah.
So I think it would have helped if somehow they could have shown us the patient, but and that easily could have been a contest winner, right?
Right, right. I
Yeah.
was thinking we had another contest winner, but I'm trying to remember where I.
Hmm.
Oh, I know. Do you think Curtis's
Trainer guy.
trainer, or I guess he's physical therapist or something. Do you think he might be a contest winner? Or is he some well-established actor that I should know?
Right. I know. I think it's somewhere in between.
So I thought maybe he's somebody in the sports world that they brought
Yeah,
in.
that's what that would have been a good guess. Yeah, like maybe he was jealous of Stephen A. Smith, and he's like, I want to get
right,
into
and they brought him in
soap.
to give him a little
right
moment in the sun there or something, because he seemed like he was being pretty intense about his role.
Exactly, that's exactly the word I was thinking. Yeah, and sort of came right at Portia, which she kind of needs. I don't think she's gonna respond to anybody who isn't very direct with her.
I mean, maybe just close the doors on that place and have it be more like a doctor's appointment, because everybody's just wandering in. And is he the only person getting physical therapy at this whole gym? Like,
it didn't really look like a gym either. It had like a nice sort of wainscoting or something. It was,
you like wainscoting, don't you?
I do.
It's not.
I don't have to have it, I don't have to. I can live in a room that doesn't have it, but if it's there, I'll embrace it.
Do you like a chair rail?
Are you trying to make this sound dirty?
Don't make me cough. Oh, that's hurting my throat.
Poor Gia, you need some sort of a beverage, a soothing beverage.
Yeah, I'll get one afterwards. I started digging through the herbal tea. I only like them any other time. I'm like, ugh, that's disgusting. But when you're ill, it feels like they might help you in some way.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, I don't have a lot of experience with physical therapy, but when my dad had his knee done, I was taking him. And it was like this busy place with lots of physical therapists and lots of patients all being tormented all over this space, kind of a big open, they were chucking medicine balls at him and stuff. And,
well, now you've jogged my memory a little bit, and I had to take one of the kids to physical therapy. And he was the only kid in there, the only person in there at the time with his trainer.
Well, I suppose it's all different situations.
Yeah, but it definitely didn't have wainscoting. It had like that sort of rubbery tile floor, and then, balls and rubber bands, those big rubbery stretchy things,
This is kind of off topic, but have you ever been to, I experienced this at I think it was a YMCA or a YWCA or something. I don't know. I was working with some kids in a summer school program setting, and on Fridays Y thing, and they had this like pit filled with squares of foam, so it was like I don't know, 6 feet deep or something, filled with these squares of foam, and they were chucking the kids in there, and they had to like swim their way out of it. And so it's kind of fun, but it's also kind of torture. And they had us adults do it too, just to see how hard it was. My God, so hard, because you got no purchase on anything, and you just gotta like I wonder if that's what those McDonald's like playroom filled with
it
the
seems
balls
like it.
like, those awful, really unsanitary.
I know, that's all I can think of with places like that now, that they're all coated with all kinds of fluids. And
I mean, not just COVID, anything.
God, anything. Anything.
Getcha.
Anything, Gia. Don't go into one of those pits.
No. Well, now that I think about it, this foam was probably gross too, but I was a lot younger when I did this. But it just took so much core body strength to try and, get your flabby self out of that pit. It was awful.
So I guess you wouldn't
chucking those kids in there.
You don't sound like somebody who would want to be on that like American Ninja
Oh
show,
no,
right?
that looks awful. Doesn't that look awful?
I know. There was that other show called Wipeout or something where they had to like
Oh yeah, where they're
jump
like,
on those big red balls, and those for
yeah,
some
and
reason
getting
those looked
knocked off
very
things.
very
Yeah.
yeah. I like those big red balls though.
I'm just gonna leave that
Yeah,
alone.
yeah.
Gonna leave that out there.
I think
Uh,
that's all you can do. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I mean,
Speaking of
Wayne's
balls,
got a thing compared to what you just said. So.
big red balls. Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. Moving on.
Oh,
Moving
we're
on.
way off. Okay.
Yeah, way off.
So
Okay. So going back to that night, we don't have to spend
yeah,
a lot of time on
but
it, but
beyond Elizabeth and Finn, I liked
mhm.
the device of moving from scene to scene and having
I
people
did
like at
too.
bedtime. I
Yeah.
feel like we haven't really done that before.
Right.
I'm sure
Right.
somebody
Lots
has,
of
but
times we don't even know what time of day it is when they bounce
right,
between
right.
scenes. Yeah. Although let's see. We had
So we
also
had Dante and Sam,
Yep, and
and we
that's what I
had
was going to talk about
Sonny and Nina.
next.
Okay, we go for
Dante
it.
and Sam, so they're about to have some nice sexy time.
Yeah, and
And
she brings up Maxie and housing.
doesn't that seem stupid?
To bring that up, then maybe she didn't feel like having sex, and
So that's really the only
that
reason why
was
she would bring it up. But yeah, it just seemed like so clunky. I don't know. I
yeah,
don't
it
know.
seemed like there'd be another time when she, I mean, I
I
could
would
see
think
me doing
so.
that because I forget stuff, and so I might be like, before I forget this,
Yeah.
but Sam wouldn't have my memory problems yet, so.
I wouldn't think so. So yeah, that was just the only thing about that scene that sort of seemed like,
Right, also because you're
stupid.
gonna bring up the obviously that's gonna get him thinking about his former
Yeah.
wife, Lulu,
Right. Yeah.
so that seems a little weird and maybe a
Mhm.
little cruel or
Yeah.
just weird.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Uh, but anyway, I conversely, like comparing them as a couple to Elizabeth and Finn, I'm a
Mhm.
little more on board with Dante and Sam. Like I'm starting to kind of believe them as a couple.
Yeah, and well, Dante always has like a nice sort of easy way about him, I think,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
But
So maybe
originally, I
he's
felt like they
helping there.
threw them together, and I just didn't
Yeah.
believe it. But now
Mhm.
they seem a little more natural or something.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
I guess.
Let's see. Yeah, I
Are you
mean, there
are you eating something? Is it a
no,
sky
I
raisin?
that had a little biscotti stuck in my teeth.
Oh, a little lemon biscotti. Did you polish off your? How do you
The
say it?
ice cream?
No, the
Oh, the
alcohol.
limoncello. Oh
Le-
god.
how can you say it with the right accent though? Is it like limoncello or something like that?
I don't know. That doesn't make it sound any better. Um,
Yes, it does.
it does. Well,
Yeah,
okay, okay, you can say it that
limon,
way. Like,
limoncello. I
I
bet
can't
that would,
talk
if I
to you
had
when
that
you're
now,
like
I'd
this.
drink it. That would probably be like a good sort of soothing thing for my irritated throat.
Oh, I think it would scorch it.
Well, that
America,
might
I tried.
feel
I thought
good.
we were going to have a lovely limoncello cocktail, but I thought it was gross. So I
And it's
couldn't
weird that
even.
you call something that's actually just a dessert a cocktail because that wasn't a cocktail that you created. That was an
Well,
ice
that's
cream
true.
dish.
That's true.
Like that
Okay.
was food.
Point
You
taken.
realize a cocktail is a liquid, like a beverage.
I know. All right, I guess I was testing it on the ice cream and it almost
Oh, I
ruined a
see.
perfectly good bowl of ice cream. So there was no way I was going to make a
It
cocktail
looked
out of
good.
it.
So she had vanilla ice cream and then this lemon liqueur over it and lemon biscotti. It looked pretty good, but she declared it putrid.
Yeah. Yeah, this was Ina Garten's idea of how to use
Uh-huh.
limoncello. So I'm going to have to talk to her.
Well, you should make whatever. I was telling her about a time another friend of mine and I tried to make one of the Ina Garten dinners, and we got as far as the whiskey sours, and then we got so drunk we just didn't go on. I think we just ate plain spaghetti or something. We were like,
I bet she's had days like that where she just got too
She
drunk
just
on all of her.
have the cocktails and
Yeah,
screw
yeah,
all the fresh
yeah.
ingredients and everything. But
That's right.
it was
That's right.
delicious. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Um,
Anyway, so Dante and Sam are in bed. Okay,
yeah.
what else do we need to say about that scene? Anything?
I guess not much. No, no.
Okay.
We had Sonny
Sonny and
talking
Nina.
on the phone. Yeah, and he was talking on the phone with Ava initially about their sort of Betty plan, and then
Yeah.
Nina came to bed, and then at some point in the night, that's when Eddie, Olivia, and Carly showed up at the police station. They got taken in by a very
Oh,
grumpy
right. Yeah, yeah.
Chase. I thought Chase was
Yeah, yeah.
very
Chase
grumpy,
was, yeah, yeah.
you know?
Um, yeah, and why can't they have, like, it didn't make sense because you assume Chase would be a better
Yeah.
officer and that he would get to the bottom of what happened there and not,
Yeah, yeah.
like, why didn't they have one
Mhm.
of their contest winners just be a stupid cop that just brought him in without listening to what happened? And,
Yeah, right,
I don't
right.
know.
That's right. Uh-huh. Yeah. So I thought that whole scene was kind of tiresome because you had those like debates between like Olivia and Dante about like her not wanting him to sign her out and
Yeah,
Carly not wanting
yeah.
Sonny to sign her out. And it just sort of went on and on and on. So
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think
know.
General Hospital is suffering a little bit from what our listeners suffer from, where we just beat a point, you know,
To death.
like a dead
Yeah.
horse. Yeah, and
Uh-huh. Yeah,
yeah, all the
maybe.
scenes, even if they have a little potential, they just really, it's
Mhm.
too much, too
It's too
much. Yeah,
much. Yeah, like they go on just too long, I think.
yeah.
Um, but so yeah, all of this is going on, all of this nighttime activity. And what time would you have thought it was based on Sam and Dante being in bed and those
Uh,
three
when you
getting
think
called
like
in?
10 or 11 at least, they're
Uh-huh.
young
Yeah.
people. There's young people that probably don't go to bed before 10, I wouldn't
Mhm.
think, but
Mhm. So then you have
why?
Anna going for a jog.
Oh,
So,
right, Anna's
you
house
know?
burned down, yeah,
Mhm.
right.
Yeah.
And at first I thought, "Oh, is this," like, she at one point talked about using
A
herself as
trap.
bait.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I
Yeah.
thought, "Oh, maybe that's what this is?" Because it does seem
Mhm.
really, really stupid to do
Yes.
that.
I mean, really, really stupid. Yeah.
Stupid for anybody, but stupid especially if you
Anybody.
know you're being targeted.
Right, right. Yeah. But they
What was
didn't
the big,
mention
like,
that this was
plastic
part.
thing around her arm? She wearing,
Oh,
like,
I
a
think yeah, was it just like a some sort of like a I don't know. They don't even have MP3 players anymore, like her phone music or
I
something.
guess so, it looked
I
weird.
don't know. I know
Yeah.
it was very
Blood pressure
conspicuous.
cuff or something. I
Yeah.
gotta stop.
I know.
You're an
I
ER right off.
know.
Oh,
But yeah, that whole and of course we love Anna and I feel like this whole storyline, they're trying to give her something like meaty to work with, but it's just not interesting.
it's not interesting, it's not hanging together. Um,
Yeah. And this whole intensity about like her career, like in black ops and stuff like that. It just doesn't really ring true when she's
no.
just come in from jogging by herself.
Right,
Uh,
exactly. Yeah, that
yeah.
was yeah. And just they're trying to, imply some friction between she and Valentine, but they kinda go
Yeah.
back and forth on it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
not
yeah.
working.
No, and I that's going to be a little sad if it turns out somehow Valentine is a bad guy in all this, right?
Right, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't see how they're going to pull that off, but of course they'll try and eventually we'll accept it, I
Yeah.
guess.
So things weren't really working in these early episodes. And then,
Yeah.
somewhere in there we had, Betty and
Mhm.
May
Mhm.
The Pawtuck
Yeah.
trio gathered in
Yeah.
Austin's office,
Right. Right. Yeah.
where
Yeah.
Austin was trying to be kind of funny, and I wanted to like him during that, but he
Mhm.
wasn't really
Mhm.
all that
No.
funny, you know.
Right. Yeah.
And
So
Betty is just like a weird little thing, and
she is, yeah, and we know she's sort of capable of evil, I think. So
yeah.
I
And
don't
that
know.
whole scene, I don't know if it was that day or the next day, or
Hmm.
whenever the scene where she actually goes and opens Sonny's laptop and downloads
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
the very well labeled Pikeman information.
I know. And was there no password to get into the laptop? I guess.
I guess not, but I didn't quite understand why they had Dex come in and like that moment where he's like, "What are you doing?" and then go
Yeah.
back out. Like what, you know? It
Maybe they thought that would make her think that they were keeping eyes on things, but she had like fooled them enough that that
maybe.
the
I think you're
concern
giving
had
them
passed. I don't
maybe
know.
too much credit for something
Yeah.
like that. I
Yeah.
don't know. I think
Mhm.
Dex lurking around everywhere. Dex lurking around at the hospital
I know.
is so silly. Uh,
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. It's
Uh-huh.
just that's not working, and the paw tuck thing isn't working, and I don't
Yeah.
know. I wasn't finding a lot to love in the past couple days. Were you? Did you love anything
Did I love anything?
or like
Um,
anything?
hmm. No. No, I didn't.
Okay.
I wanted to ask you what you thought about when Eddie came to find Olivia and he was very nice to her. What did you think about
Oh,
that?
yeah, I kind of enjoy that. I do like the idea of that little courtship going forward.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
because I that's just an intriguing thought to re um like a romance with a new guy, but who's also your husband, and how like
Yeah, yeah.
I
Uh-huh.
mean, for him it's the first time around, and so
Yeah.
no problem for him, but for her, would you
Mhm.
feel guilty or what?
Right, right.
Would you be
Yeah.
okay with this? He's essentially a different man, and
Yeah.
would if he gets conked on the head again and becomes Ned again,
Mhm.
is
How does
he
she
gonna be
explain?
okay? Yeah, is he gonna be okay with her having a romance with Eddie Main?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
It's kind of a fun little brain teaser just thinking about
It
it.
is. It is. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, I don't
Mhm.
know. Do you remember reading Flowers for Algernon in your youth? Did you read that?
I don't think I ever did.
What is the matter with you? There are so many like landmark books
Yeah.
and films and things that I think what it is you're oppositional on
No,
some
I know.
level.
I think that was like required reading for some classes. I just wasn't in
No
those
doubt.
classes. Yeah, yeah.
No,
I did have to
you
read a
were
lot of books, but not that one.
wow. And you never
Yeah.
just stumbled across it or anything.
No. No.
Did you read a
Mm-mm.
separate piece?
Yeah. Mhm. Lord of the
Okay.
Flies,
Lord of the Flies. Okay. So we're getting
Catcher
somewhere. I
in the
mean,
Rye. Yeah.
there's some at least we have like sort of a cornerstone of
Yeah. Some John Steinbeck.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
Yeah. Mhm.
Well, I thought of Flowers for Algernon because the character in that, do you know the premise of it
No.
even?
I was gonna pretend I did, but I don't think I could fake it. So go ahead, Gia.
Well, the character in that changes changes and basically becomes a new person, grows
Mhm.
in his IQ.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And
And
then of
how does
course
he do that?
sadly, huh?
How does
What?
he grow in his IQ?
It's Prevagen.
So that was
I don't
really just
remember.
like a way to sell Prevagen? I didn't know
No,
that.
no, it was way before Prevagen. I can't remember. It's some science experiment where
Oh, okay. Uh-huh.
and and so he grows in his IQ and basically is constantly becoming a different person. Then sadly, it goes
Mhm.
down again. But
Ah. Uh-huh.
he's becoming a different person all the time. And
Uh-huh.
does the person his romantic interest? It's like, is it the same person? It's like the
Yeah.
person's
Yeah.
changing all the time, and I
Right.
don't know. It's
Uh-huh.
sort of an interesting premise to
Yeah. Hmm.
as as a love interest, are you?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know
Yeah.
what I'm
Well.
getting at. It just came to mind.
Yeah. Like, is it the body
Right.
that
The
you're
vessel
loyal
is the
to, or
vessel.
is
Yeah.
it the personality?
Yeah.
I don't know, Gia. You
Because it's
raised
a
some
whole different
interesting questions.
personality, obviously, with
Yeah.
Eddie and
Yeah.
Ned.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And
But
we
it
have it
is
going
in
on all over the place in Port Charles. Esme and
yeah.
um,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and Sonny. Sonny, like I
Mm-hmm.
feel like Sonny has basically eradicated all of Mike's characteristics. Like for a while there, they
Pretty
kind of were
much,
playing up,
yeah. Yeah.
but
I mean, he may be a
uh,
little mellower now. I mean, we're just not seeing nearly as much of the mob's activity, that we used to, I guess.
I guess so.
I mean,
Well, we got
there's
the
talk
pikemen.
about it, but he's spending a
Yeah,
lot of time just hanging out,
that's
with
true. Yeah,
he spent a
yeah,
lot of time in the hospital and stuff. I don't know.
yeah. Um.
Um,
Anyway, I enjoy that we're having more scenes with he and Ava because I
yeah,
always
yeah, I do.
kind of like them
Mhm.
together, and I like them not
Mhm.
being mortal enemies. I like them kind of
Yeah,
trying to
right.
operate on the same side.
Yep, and sort of realizing that they're very similar,
Yeah, yeah.
basically. I mean,
Not afraid to break the rules if they need to.
yeah, yeah, uh-huh. Uh, let's see. Yeah, what was I gonna say? Oh, I was thinking that when you were talking about Olivia and Ned, if they did sort of move forward with that relationship, in a way, I don't know if it's the ultimate fantasy for Olivia, but it seems like it could be a fantasy for a person, right? To
To
sort of
be
like,
with Eddie Main.
no, I mean, like, sort of having like a do-over with your relationship where you could sort of move things differently, like you wouldn't necessarily have to fall into the same
Mm.
patterns.
Yeah, I suppose so. But it's still kind of the same person, but it's not.
Right.
Um,
And although she is falling into the same pattern, she's being very much a caregiver, and like waiting on him and stuff like that.
yeah, yeah.
But this guy isn't like the corporate sort of douche that she didn't like in Ned. So
That's true. He's a different kind of douche.
yeah, I mean, she sort of accepted that he was, that world, but
Yeah. I know
yeah,
I like he's like I know this guy. I know this Eddie Main, like
yeah,
this
mm-hmm,
slightly over the hill, like with a
mm-hmm,
paunch, but still wants to
yep,
be a rock star.
yep, yep,
And
mm-hmm.
still like thinks he is if the lighting is just right and he's
Yep,
got a good rhythm section behind him, he could still maybe pull it off. There might be
uh-huh,
a night where he is a rock star in the bar, but he could also be
yep,
like just super pathetic and
yeah, yeah,
like he might be
uh-huh,
an object of pity if the light isn't right.
yeah, yeah, yep, yep,
And I like
yeah,
that about him. And
uh-huh,
I don't know. I mean, part of it is because he's like sort of this Peter Pan that doesn't seem to
mm-hmm,
realize how old he is and that he's got a,
yep,
a beer belly and
yeah,
um that he
uh-huh,
looks a little silly trying to dress like a
mm-hmm.
20-year-old, when he's what is he? Probably in his 50s, do you think? I don't know
Yeah,
how old
yeah,
the actor
must
is.
be. Yeah, yeah. And imagine, like, let's say he did decide to take up the suggestion of Brook Lynn sort of managing him. Imagine if she like tried to help him and she could see, he was always just sort of teetering, on
Yeah,
on
like
it
if he
maybe
probably would.
working,
Yeah.
but
He'd probably
probably
like if
not.
he'd probably think he could still do the leather pants look, and
Yeah, yeah.
she'd be trying to go to from the more adult, like easy
Mhm.
listening.
Yeah,
Um,
like a piano bar kind of thing or something.
yeah, maybe or like I don't know, acoustic listening rooms
Yeah. Mhm. Mhm.
rather than like he wants to rock out,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. And imagine like trying to put together a band for him. Do they all have to
yeah,
be like in his age range or would they all be
right,
like, you know?
right. Yeah, it would be a struggle, especially if he because he seems to be walking around under the impression that he's still as whatever age he was in the 90s when he was
Yeah.
Eddie Money. Like
Yeah.
that's how they're playing him.
Right.
And
Yeah.
it's funny. It makes it kind of funny.
Yeah.
It's like I'd love if they had him looking in the mirror and they could somehow put the
younger.
Eddie Main younger face in the mirror. So
yeah, they could do that.
Wouldn't that be kind of fun? So that he really thought he was cruising around at that age.
Yeah. But he's got to be like feeling it in his bones, and
yeah,
just
you'd think so.
Being out late, all of that stuff.
Yeah, because I feel
you don't bounce back. Yeah, you really
don't bounce back. Even if you like pinch your skin somewhere, it doesn't even go back to where it,
it just
like that test they do to see if you're dehydrated.
Dehydrated, yeah.
Yeah.
See, young people don't know about that test.
Like if I pinch the skin under my eye with where it's all baggy, like that stuff doesn't go back. Like it just stays sort of like a Sharpay.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, so like there we are going on way too long about Eddie Main.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm digging the Eddie Main story. That's a sort of a bright spot, I guess I'd say.
Yeah, I think it still has like maybe some potential that they're not realizing. But it does seem at least like it's I mean, even though that's sort of a cliched soap opera device, it seems like they're handling it a little differently, maybe.
Yeah, it's a good device. It's like recycling,
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
It gives new life to somebody.
That's true, Gia. Yeah.
Let's see what else. We had a lot of Sasha, right? And Gladys.
Sure. Yeah.
Cody sneaking in
and poor Sasha.
Dr. Montague, the evil
Montague. Oh, and it's just it's just agonizing, like seeing like that one nurse who's so like good and aware of all these things, and she's just telling the wrong person.
Right. Yep. But he's a visiting psychiatrist, and that's apparently like a thing. You know how they are. That's a thing.
Yeah, they think they know everything.
Yeah, the visiting psychiatrist. Yeah.
So and I going to today's episode, where you had this like long drawn out scene with Cody first, like talking to Dante and Mac, and then just Dante. Like I thought Cody was like insufferable in that scene.
Like initially I thought he's been studying Spencer's moves and he's trying to get overly dramatic.
Yeah.
And then
it wasn't working.
I pegged him for what was happening. It was like, oh, he's going to try and get into Ferncliff. Like I actually called it. I should have texted you so I could get credit for that.
But I even if he's trying to do that, it seems like he's still not doing a very good job. I don't know.
Not really a very good job. No.
Yeah, it just seemed like any ground he had gained with me is sort of gone now. He's just I don't know.
Oh, that's too bad. You don't give him credit for his dedication to Sasha for trying to.
Well, I still feel like if he really cared, he would find a way to tell Mac and Dante that what he knows about Gladys, right?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, because he's basically spelled out that Gladys needs money, and he's basically spelled out her motivation. He just hasn't revealed what she's been up to
and how he knows
specifically, and how he knows. Right? Is that because he thinks Selena will kill him if he reveals?
Probably, but it still seems like
you think he should risk that. Go ahead.
And I think probably if he told them I feel like they could protect him or like somehow hide that part of it if they needed to. And Mac's trying to catch Selena anyway, so it seems like I don't know. They could figure that part out, but I can't imagine like watching some poor woman being like just destroyed,
Yeah, I know,
and
yeah.
acting like he's this cool guy who's gonna come to her rescue when he has a better way of doing that if he was just like man up,
All right. You're being a little hard on him, but okay. You've got a point. You've got a
Didn't his
point.
hair look stupid again today? I mean, I thought maybe that was a tip off that he really is just a dink.
It looked a little done. It looked a little bit done, you know.
Yeah.
Speaking of Selena, just to jump around a little bit, she was pretty
Yeah.
insufferable in her visit with
Yeah.
Curtis.
Yeah, and
She played it exactly the same. She kept
yeah.
sashaying in, you know.
I know, like she's at another club or something,
Yeah. Yeah.
I liked his reaction, I think he could have let her have it even more, but I thought that would be good that he didn't really, play along like she kind of wanted
Yeah,
him to.
yeah, he held strong on that. But I just thought her she didn't strike the right note in that scene. It's like
Yeah.
she's
Yeah.
like we used to complain about Jordan just having that one note,
Mhm.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
she does that suspicious
Mhm.
like turn of her head and slant of her eye and cop
Yeah.
scene no
Uh-huh.
matter what she's doing.
Yep. Yep.
It's
Mhm.
loosened up a little bit in recent
Yeah.
scenes,
I think so, yeah.
but
Mhm.
Selena always comes in with that very art,
Mhm.
like I'm the evil I don't know. It's just a little over the top, and she could
Mhm.
have played that scene with a little sympathy, a little real life, like human seeming
Yeah.
sympathy.
And maybe have we ever seen that side of her? Does that side exist?
I don't think we've seen anything but this one
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, so like
character.
is she really hoping that he'll believe she was just there as a friend? Like that she's just gonna drop by and see how he's doing? That just
Right. Yeah, it didn't
I don't know.
yeah, it didn't work, but
Yeah.
I also was I know I've kind of left the Sasha thing. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me.
Gesundheit.
Sorry. Thank you. That was too late. My soul has already left my body. Too slow. Thanks a lot. God. Anyway, it's all right. I don't have a soul. I thought the stuff with the Curtis and him being like the heart and soul of the Savoy, and nobody can do what Curtis has done, and
Yeah.
people come just to see Curtis, and in my head I'm like, do they? Do
Yeah.
they
I
really?
know. Right. Right. Yeah, they were sort of rewriting history there a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they were
well, and
kind of.
so
I don't know. I just
yeah.
didn't believe it.
Yeah, and sorry to interrupt there, but that was part of Selena's agenda, right? To see if she could buy the Savoy.
Right. Yeah.
And then Marshall sort of caught
Marshall
up.
came in and
Yeah,
yeah. And he did
read her.
overstep. I was glad that he realized that he overstepped there and um
Yeah, but I'm
admitted
also
it. That
glad that he let her have it a little bit there.
yeah.
And
But I was
yeah,
just thinking like I don't feel like Curtis's personality is such that he was the or we haven't once again we're being told but not shown. They
yeah,
haven't
right,
shown Curtis
right.
I mean there are people that create an atmosphere at a club or a
Definitely,
restaurant or whatever.
definitely.
I've not seen that from Curtis.
No, not too
Maybe
much.
Nika does, you know?
Right, right. As
She
much as
might.
he does, at least. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just the fact that he sort of let Selena run the show there, kind of makes it seem like he isn't. There's no soul to that place.
Yeah. Just the
Uh,
lit up tables.
yeah, but
Um,
I also think that even if he's wheelchair bound, obviously he could still run the Savoy. I mean,
yeah, right.
so there. I don't know this whole like think having to find somebody to do it until he can. It seems like that's going to be just a couple days. Maybe he just needs to
Yeah.
get a
Well, maybe
computer
they're
and a
like
phone or whatever. I don't know.
feeling like he's tied up with recovery for months or something. I don't know. I don't know
Yeah,
that really.
yeah. But
Um,
if they did have Marshall kind of help him out, like we were talking about, maybe they could just sort of change the dynamic of the Savoy a little bit and have some like cooler old school
yeah,
R&B
that would be
soul
fun. Make it
acts.
more of a yeah, actually make it more of a club and yeah,
Yeah.
not
Hmm.
not these fly-by-night pop stars with their backing tracks. Blaze. I'm looking at you, Blaze.
Yeah, yeah.
But
So
so
that
that would give him a more of a role, I guess, now that we're
Mhm,
done with his
mhm.
schizophrenia story.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. So that could be, I don't know, maybe okay. Um,
yeah, all
n
right.
n Oh, one other scene that I wanted to, oh gosh, we're going on and on. I just
Oh
wanted to
gosh, I
touch
always
on,
okay.
which is kind of interesting timing, that at the pool they're having like Hawaii night,
Oh, I
right?
wondered about that. I wondered about that. They obviously that they do this way far in advance, so there
Yeah,
couldn't have been
yeah.
any.
Hmm.
But yeah. How weird was that?
It
That
was
occurred.
it was weird for a lot of reasons.
Kind of eerie.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was just plain weird. Like
yeah.
for
Like
no
all of
yeah
a
for no
sudden,
reason.
they got a deal on Lay's.
Yeah, yeah. That was and pineapple. I was like, oh, don't waste
Yeah,
that pineapple. It looks so good.
I know.
Tracy was
Uh,
mildly funny, acting drunk. That was sort
Mildly,
of
yeah,
quasi
yeah,
funny. Not half
right,
the
and I gue
tempo, but
yeah, so that was, like, Brook Lynn's attempt, I guess, to have Tracy somehow spill the beans about what her agenda
I
is with
guess yeah, but it didn't really
um,
happen.
not
I don't know.
really, no.
Things were a little
Um,
just things are just always a little bit off,
mhm,
you know, off plumb. Is that how you
yeah,
say it?
yeah,
Not
that's
plumb?
I think Off Plum might be a nice name for your memoir. It's always good to be thinking about things like that, Gia.
I just that I've been pretty mean to you all night.
No, you know you
Off
haven't.
plumb.
Um, yeah, but it's
Uh,
true. It does feel like everything could be, like, just tweaked, and be made,
yeah,
like,
and we're the gals
maybe
to do it. They
we
just
are
give
the
us a
gals to
call.
do. Yeah, one call and we'll solve
I
all your
know. Give me like
problems.
4 or 5 days to get over this little cold or whatever, but then I'm ready to go.
Okay, okay. Yeah,
Okay.
so that whole pool scene, it always seems weird, these gatherings at the pool,
Gatherings
but
at the pool, nighttime, daytime, in your bathing
yeah.
suit, in your suit, whatever.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
this weird setting, but it was nice to see, like, Felicia and Mac, like, it was a good
Yeah.
sort of excuse to have a bunch of people, like, sort of,
They
and, like,
yeah, they still are covering more storylines like you
yeah,
pointed out, so that's a
y
good thing.
and yeah, that was just, like, a brief moment with Felicia and Mac, but we did get something out of it, you know?
Right, she's looking for something to do in her life.
Yeah,
You should start a
it's
podcast. Maybe she already has.
she should it was sad to hear that she's getting out of the PI business since she was the only decent PI in town.
I know, the only one we had. I seriously.
Now there's just gonna be this void, you know?
Maybe she should run against Laura for mayor next time or something.
Ooh, yeah, maybe,
Or they could be
maybe.
co-mayors. We could have a lot of so yeah, we
Yeah.
run on quite a bit. We should probably shut up. But so let's sum up
Yeah.
everything else quickly. So
Okay.
sick of the Molly TJ baby
Ugh,
surrogate
that's
mother storyline. Like
yeah,
so
that's
sick of it.
bad
And
on
that
a
was
lot of
um,
levels, a
and
lot
it
of
went
levels.
on and on.
Yeah, mhm, yeah,
Feeling actually feeling some sympathy for
Christina.
uh uh oh her too, but no, Chase and Finn's father. I can't think of his name right now.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah, Gregory, yeah, yeah,
Gregory,
uh-huh,
actually
uh-huh,
feeling more sympathy for his little
yeah,
situation,
mhm, mhm.
and glad that he was about to spill the beans to Finn, sounds like,
Yeah,
so I'm
I
glad.
hope that he follows through with that. It's
Yeah,
time. It's time.
yeah, he probably we think he's gonna do it, so probably he won't. He'll just make some weird
Yeah.
story up or something, but
Uh-huh.
and let's see what else. That's kinda covers it
Yeah, I
mostly,
think
right?
so, I think so, yeah.
So, a mixed bag for the past couple days, I guess
A
we'd
mixed
say.
bag, yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess we saw a lot of people, but not necessarily at their best or the way we wanted to see them.
Yeah.
But,
Hey, I thought of a
we're
name for
never at our
your,
best. What?
yeah, I thought of a name for your memoirs.
Uh-oh.
I let my dog eat sky raisins.
That seems like
Really
a
old one.
chapter.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, yeah.
They're probably good for them, for all we know. They probably have all kinds of,
Well, she
you
certainly
know,
seems to enjoy them. Yeah.
vitamins and
So
amino acids. And how's she doing? Does she miss us?
she does miss you. She's got so much energy. She's a
Yeah.
I was thinking you came up with some good names
You'll
for
tame
her.
that down with a few more
I,
snacks.
I'll get some weight on her, and she'll just be sitting
Yeah.
in one place all day like the rest
Yeah.
of us. Yeah. But right now,
I did
she's
have a
like
lot
a
of good names for
yo-yo.
her, didn't I?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Lovey, and
Lovey.
this is one of Gia's skills is trying to change the name of other people's pets. And nobody asks for this service, but she's happy to volunteer it. I had a bunny and I try to always keep the names that
I
they
named a
come
bunny?
with from the
I don't remember.
shelter. I don't know why. I don't. I'm sure they're
I don't. Why
throwing
do you?
these
They
names at
probably
them.
just make them up at the shelter. They
I
probably
know,
only have
but
for like an hour or something.
right, I know, but in my head, I'm thinking this is all they have is their name.
Their name.
So,
Aw, I
and
didn't
I
know
know
that. What
it's a
did I
little
name your
silly.
bunny? I don't remember naming the
Well,
bunny.
she came with the name Princess, which was
Oh, right, princess.
it didn't fit her because she was the feistiest bunny I'd ever had. But then Gia insisted that we start calling her Princess Bettina. I don't.
That did fit her.
Yeah. Yeah. So and now this new dog Roxy, Gia wants me to call her either Lovey or Vespa.
Yep. Well, she's like a little mini greyhound. So the
She
Vespa
is,
is
and
sort of
she is very,
yeah,
very affectionate. She's one of these dogs that wants to be like right on top of you all the time.
yeah. She wants to have her snout smooched,
Yeah, yeah,
all day
yeah,
long. Yeah, she's
yeah.
very sweet,
So I got to
sweet
say,
girl.
people, if you're
Yeah.
nervous about getting a shelter pet, I've had so many lovely dogs that came from
Oh
shelters.
yeah, yeah.
So many. So
Use dogs are the way to go. Yep.
they're the best. They're the
Yep.
best. Yep. Yeah.
Oh, that's a happy note to end on. Okay,
Okay.
let's let the
Okay.
poor people go. Gosh.
Yeah, we're sorry, poor people. They're probably thinking, oh, maybe once a week is best.
All right. Well, you have a good night, and I'm gonna go make a hot beverage.
Yeah,
And
Gia, gosh, I hope you feel better soon.
oh, it's not so bad. I'll be all right. Thank you though. I hope
Uh,
I didn't get anybody else sick, but
well, you sound like you're worse now than you were 52 minutes ago.
it's a little. I think everybody that listened to this is worse now.
Well, your sass muscle is intact, so that's
Oh
good.
yeah, always. All right, everyone. Have a lovely
Okay.
evening. We'll see you next time.
Okay. Bye, Gia.
Okay. See ya.